Like, these are things that you enjoy. You don't actually enjoy sleeping because there's nothing to enjoy about sleeping, guys. Hi! So today I'm going to talk about some habits that I feel, personally feel have changed my life. And some of these happened a little bit more during the lockdown, circuit breaker, quarantine that happened in Singapore a couple of months ago. But still not in a great phase. I mean, we're in phase 2 and the coronavirus is still a threat, but of course things have settled down. But these are things that happened, while I was in lockdown, and it was difficult for an extrovert. I did make a few videos during quarantine talking about life in lockdown, what I did, what I ate, how I coped. So you can check that out. I'll leave the links below as well. But anyway, for this video, it's just on a very positive, forward-looking note, just stuff that I learned and that I want to share with you. Okay, so it's not all habits that I just learned in lockdown. Some of these habits are things that I've, learned over the years, and I feel like they are life-changing, and I am a huge fan of talking about habits and learning about habits. I've run, in fact, like sessions on habits as well under One on Wellness, and I'm looking to run a bit more. Drop me a line below if that's something that you want more of. But in the meantime, I feel like we are the product of our habits. Human beings, we do things daily that we don't even think about. Like, for example, you wake up, most of us check our phones, we brush our teeth. Those are habits, and we don't even realize it. It's just stuff that we do. But we are the product of all of these things. And one of the things that I found that really has changed my life is to wake up early. Now, I've never been the sort to really sleep in. I mean, I guess when I was maybe like in my teens, actually even then not really, because I used to wake up early on Saturday mornings for netball trainings, and Sundays my mom would wake me up for catechism or Sunday school and to go to church. So I've never really been the sleeping in sort. I have friends who really sleep in, and Mel, if you're listening to this, you're one of them. I have a friend, Mel, and she used to wake up at like 4 p.m. I kid you not. Like, okay, not every weekend, but there'll be weekends when we would meet up, or we'll say that let's meet up for like tea or lunch or whatever, and we wouldn't hear from her until like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I think the latest was like 4 p.m. And I thought that was just crazy. Like, I have never in my life slept in till 4 p.m. And now it's interesting because she's kind of changed her lifestyle. And Mel wakes up in the mornings now, and I think she realizes that she has so much more of the day ahead. So I can't say this is truly from experience, because I've never been a wake up late kind of girl. But I do know that, maybe in my teenage years, in my early 20s, when I used to party like all the time, a lot, I would sleep in till maybe 12 noon on days that I didn't have netball training in the morning, and I would feel like, literally when you wake up at 12, half your day is gone. Literally half your daylight time is gone, right? Because, the sun sets at like 7 p.m. We can't stop there, and it rises at 7 a.m. thereabouts, and you just lose so much time. So I remember when I would wake up late, I would honestly hate it. I'll wake up feeling groggy and in a bad mood, and then it's like so bright outside, and it's just not my favorite way to start the day. So one thing that I feel is a life-changing habit that you might want to try as well is to wake up early. So these days, like, I run my own business, sirs. And so, but I choose to wake up at about 7-ish, 7 plus, I think about 8 latest, and I start my day with a workout. So I'll go into that next as the other habit. But yeah, I think one of the first habits is to wake up early, and I feel like I just have so much more time in the day. I am a morning person, so I am one of those annoying people who wakes up and generally feels pretty upbeat, even if I'm tired. Like, if I haven't had much sleep, I do still wake up feeling pretty upbeat and in a good mood. But that's it, it's just nice. I love it when I wake up. My favorite is when I wake up without an alarm, and I manage to wake up at like 6 plus. I feel like that's when I go to sleep earlier. Like, if I actually get to bed before midnight, I guess my body just optimally needs about 6 plus 7 hours of sleep. So when I've had that much, I will wake up, and I wake up without the alarm, not feeling sleepy, and I wake up to see the whole house like slowly getting brighter because the sun is rising. It's like an amazing feeling. So I I really advocate waking up early as a habit. And if you need help, I'll link some videos that I've done before. But honestly, the easiest way, like people are like, how do you wake up so early? It's called set an alarm, guys. It really is as simple as setting an alarm and forcing yourself to get up. And of course, sleeping earlier helps you wake up earlier, but it's chicken and egg, right? One has to start first. So you might have a few days where you can't get to sleep early, so you wake up feeling really groggy. But then if you don't let yourself nap in the day, by that night you'll be tired, and then you'll sleep early, and then you'll wake up early, and the cycle begins. So it's just as easy as getting started and setting an alarm. Another habit that I find to be honestly life-changing is to work out. And I guess on this one as well, I've always been pretty active. I know friends who only started working out maybe as an adult. I think some friends have said that it's just that as you get older, it's just harder to stay slim, so they started working out. And not only do they stay slim and feel fitter, I think a lot of them have told me that they wish they had discovered working out earlier. I always tease Jamie Teo about this because I think she was pretty late to the workout game, and now she's like full on like Fitspo, right? So it just goes to show that there is no age that you need to start this, that you can start at any age. And it's just something that I feel honestly would change your life. So I start my days with a workout these days. I really try to do that. Like, I've always been active, but I've never always started the morning with a workout. I think it happened when I had my first job in advertising when I was in my early 20s, and I had to be at work by 8:39, and then I was like, oh, it's too early, there's no way I can work out before work. So I guess that period I just became a bit more sluggish. Like, I would go for netball training once a week, twice a week, and then that was it, and I wouldn't do anything else in between. And I just felt sluggish. Like, on court I didn't feel like I was at my best. Going day to day, I just didn't feel like I was really energetic or at my best. And of course, I felt like my whole body felt like soft and lethargic, and it's just not a good feeling. So I remember I read somewhere that people work out before work. I was like, wow, what a concept, right? Because if I have to be at work by 8 o'clock, I need to be on the MRT by like 8. If I need to be at work by 8:30, I need to be on the train by 8 o'clock, right? And out the house before 8 to get the bus to get to the train. And so I was like, if I work backwards, I was like, that means I need to finish my workout, like literally need to finish working out by 7 a.m. if I want to have a leisurely time to get ready and get to work. So I started waking up at 6 a.m. And I started going for a run. I was still staying with my parents back then, so I started going for a run in their neighborhood, just a very short, like 5 km, half an hour run. And I did this every day. And I think I was also inspired because there was a lady in my office who was 10 years older than me. So she's probably like the age that I am at now, but for a young 20-something, I thought she was kind of cool, and she looked really fit, and I heard that she ran every single morning. So I was like, I can do that too. And that's when I started doing these morning workouts, and I realized that it made such a difference. Honestly, it made such a difference to my mood. My body, of course, got fitter and all of that, but it made such a difference to my mood, to my energy, and just my general happiness and well-being. So I feel like if you are a very sedentary person and you have never worked out in your life, I really highly encourage you to start. There's so many ways you can get started. This could be a separate video on its own, just talking about working out and how to get started. But yeah, I mean, just try a whole bunch of things. Even like something like yoga, it's not for me. I don't enjoy it. I really try to enjoy it. I really don't, but if that's for you, that's a form of working out as well. I mean, just getting your body moving is a form of working out. Like, there's no need to go crazy and go full on like 45-minute hits, the better, right? You can start really slow. But I'd say working out is really one of the habits that changed my life, and now I'm inspired to make a video on how to get started working out. Just talking about this makes me very excited. Another habit that I feel like is life-changing is taking vitamins. This is not a sponsored video, although I have worked with a few vitamin companies before, and vitamin companies, if you want to work with me, I am all ears, because it's something that is so much a part of my life. It was actually my husband that started me on this vitamin journey. I used to get sick really often, and it's also because I keep a really really crappy diet. Like, really, I'll say honestly, like, I always joke that my diet is very balanced, but it's not really. I don't eat vegetables at all. In the previous few years, I've learned to eat non-green vegetables, non-leafy green vegetables. So I eat carrots now. if that counts. I eat a lot of chili padi, if that counts. I eat all kinds of mushrooms except the straw golden mushrooms. I don't like that, but I eat all the other mushrooms. I eat cherry tomatoes. I eat eggplant if it's roasted and with balsamic, in a very atas fashion eggplant. I eat that sort of eggplant. But yeah, guys, that's all the veg that I eat. So I don't eat any leafy greens at all, and it is really, really unhealthy. So before I started taking supplements, I used to get really bad. I used to get sick really often, like almost every month or every 2 months. I would come down with some form of like the flu, like some form of cold, cough, whatever. Like, and if anyone around me was sick, I would definitely get sick as well. But since I started taking vitamins, it's been, I guess since I met my husband like 10 years ago, it's been 10 years, and I honestly don't get as sick. Actually, I don't get sick very often at all. And I started taking, so I take a B complex. It's like a green pill. If you've seen some of my MTs, I'll link them down as well. Some of my MTs videos, I've always featured these green pills because it's a B complex for people, I guess, who don't eat leafy green vegetables. So I'm lacking in a lot of the B complex minerals and vitamins. I take a multivitamin as well, just for general health. Like, it's a multivite for ladies. I've heard that it increases your appetite and makes food taste yummier or something like that. I don't know, but I really enjoy my food. So I like that because that kind of encompasses everything. I take evening primrose oils because it's helped a lot with my period cramps. So there was this period when I was very, very hormonal, and that's when I started taking evening primrose oil. I think, again, my husband found out that that's good for regulating hormones and periods, and it really helped. It helped clear my skin, but it also helped my cramps. So I take that, and I take this like whitening pill from Helio K. I don't know if it works. I also take oral sunblock when I'm out in the sun, just because no spring chicken, gotta protect the sun from the UV rays. And I've recently started taking omega-3 because since I started studying psychology and positive psychology, I've read so much that vitamin E can help to, I keep saying vitamin E, that omega-3 acids can help to protect your brain. And I feel like our brain function is honestly the most important thing. Like, I am terrified of my brain going down the drain as I get older. So I've started taking omega-3 just to protect my brain as well. So that's quite the cocktail of vitamins, I know, but I do feel that for me at least, taking vitamins has been life-changing in helping me not get sick and just generally like feeling healthy from within. If you can eat all these in your diet, I would say that's the best way to do it. You know, that definitely is the best way, the natural form. But if you're like me and I'm a really fussy, difficult eater, picky as hell, so it's just hard for me to get me to eat things that I don't like to eat. So the vitamins are like the next best. Okay, another habit that I feel like is pretty life-changing is to choose to put my phone away when I'm at meals. Like, I'm not 100% always good at this, but I really do try my best. I found that, I think I've done this for the past few years, and I found that at the start, I think it started with when I first went out with my husband, and he would be on his BlackBerry. That time it was the BlackBerry, like it's more than 10 years ago, and it used to drive me nuts, right? And then after that, I think he tried to kick that habit, but then social media came, like boomed, and then I was always on Instagram and stuff, and then he's like, made a comment like, you know, you talked about my BlackBerry, but you're also on your phone. And it irritated me at the time when he said it, but actually I found it to be true. Like, I did go back and think about it, and I feel like it was true. So over the years, I really tried to train myself to not look at my phone so often. There are things that help with this process, like for example, I don't even put alerts on my phone. Now this is double-edged because it drives my friends nuts. I sometimes take ages to reply to messages simply because I don't have alerts on my phone, and if I'm out doing something, and if I'm out doing something with someone else, sometimes I'll take a glance at it and I'll tell myself I'll reply later because it's not life and death, and I just feel like I want to give the respect and the time that the person who's with me has given me. So I try to put my phone away, like at dinner and stuff. I will, you know, maybe do an Insta story, and then I'll put my phone away. And in fact, I know this is not the best thing, like you should Insta story, and post it straight away, but I feel like it's very disruptive, because after you Insta story, sometimes you want to put GIFs and captions and make it look cute, and then if I'm doing all that and I'm with my friends, I feel like it's a waste of their time and my time. So I usually take the Insta story, I save it, and I post it when I get home late at night, which is why sometimes you get my stories really late at night. But yeah, I think that's something that I have tried to do over the years. Just not be such a slave to my phone, and I find it pretty life-changing. Number one is to switch off all alerts on your phones, which means if it were a life and death situation, don't call me, because my phone doesn't ring ever. It doesn't ring, it doesn't vibrate, it doesn't beep, it doesn't flash, there's nothing, right? So I check my phone pretty regularly, and I am kind of glued to my phone most of the time when I'm not with people. But it just means that I check my phone when I want to check my phone, because I feel like the alerts make it very like, oh, I need to check it now. Right, and then the other thing is to consciously put my phone away when I'm with people. I really try to do that, and I feel like it's been life-changing in terms of having a deeper conversation with friends and just deepening my relationships in general. Another life-changing habit is to floss your teeth. Ha! I bet you didn't expect me to say that, because I was going all like, you know, relationships and yeah, but I take really good care of my teeth. Just had to do that. And in fact, recently I posted an Insta story about how I went to the dentist, because I go to the dentist every 6 months without fail. Okay, sometimes I miss, right? So sometimes, but at least once a year without fail. And as usual, no cavities. I've never had a single cavity in my life. I had braces on when I was 16 or 17. Horrible, hated it. But I really take care of my teeth, right? And having braces, you know, we had to floss through the braces. It's a real pain. Let me tell you, there was no Invisalign then. There were no things that you could take in and out. It was just those metal molars, and that was it. So I learned to take care of my teeth, really good care. I've never had a cavity or any problems with my teeth. And I hear of friends who've gone for root canals and multiple like cavity fillers and all of that. And it seems so painful and so unnecessary. And I have to thank my mom for this, because my mom said that she feared going to the dentist as a kid, so she made sure that she always made it fun somehow, you know. It was always like, go to the dentist was like a fun thing to do. It was never like a pain. So also brushing and flossing are habits that I picked up from her. Like she brushes, I think after every meal. I don't do it after every meal. Every meal is a bit inconvenient because I'm out all the time, but I do it definitely the morning and the night, and I floss. And yeah, I kind of miss flossing when I'm really tired, but for the most part I floss almost every day. And if your dentist is good, he or she will tell you that flossing is actually more important than brushing in terms of preventing tooth decay, because a lot of it gets stuck in between, and a lot of the decays and the cavities happen because of a lack of flossing and not so much a lack of brushing. And it's especially important if your teeth aren't perfectly straight, like you have gaps or you have parts where it's very tight and it's very hard to brush. Even more so, you should make an effort to floss. So yeah, flossing, guys. I feel like I'm making a public service announcement, but I'm all for flossing. Make sure you floss your teeth every day, if not at least every other day or every few days. Like, don't go a week without flossing. Okay, another habit that I found life-changing, and this one I've only really started to make an effort to follow during the circuit breaker lockdown in Singapore. It is to put things back. I am not a neat person. I mean, not to sound really negative, but something that I really don't like about myself, and something that I've always tried to keep in check and to correct, but it's just not in my nature to be neat. And I'm always fascinated when I meet friends who are neat, or even a little, like if they joke about being OCD, I actually envy them, to be honest. I always tease them about it, but I secretly envy them. And when I ask them, one of the big things that they say is they just put things back where you took them from, which sounds so easy in theory, but in practice, you know, I'm rushing out all the time. It's not an excuse, but it really is. My life is really like pack, leave. I come back late at night. I leave the home most times early in the morning, right? Or I'm rushing for some deadline, and it's just so easy to like, you know, like okay, for example, like this cushion. It's so easy to just leave this pile of cushions here. I mean, I put them here for the filming, but they actually belong on my sofa, right? So it's so easy to do that and say like, I'll do it later, but sometimes later never comes. And I mean now, like, there are times when I am rushing. Like now, if I need to leave, I might still leave the cushions here. I try not to, but I know that the minute I come home, that will be the first thing that I do. And I feel like it's been life-changing to remember to put things back where they belong, or if you kind of miss because you're rushing, maybe you woke up late or whatever, then to remember to do a little tidy before you go to bed, so you don't leave the house ever having things pile up. If you keep putting things back where they belong, even if you miss like a morning or two, it will not be like super crazy messy. Now I learned this during lockdown because I did a huge declutter on my house, and I was like, where did all this stuff come from? Number one. Number two, how the hell did I let all this stuff pile up? There were bags and bags of stuff that I had like to get through, and it was just quite crazy. So I told myself I need to find a home for things and try to put things back where they belong. And for the most part, I think I've been quite successful with it. And for the most part, my house is still pretty clutter-free. Like, it's never gonna be minimal. That's also not my style, but it's clutter-free. So, life-changing. Okay, now this next one is gonna come as a real surprise to close friends. It is a habit that I feel like it's a bit more life-changing than I actually even want to admit that it has been, is to sleep. I actually hate sleeping. I'm usually confounded when people tell me I love sleeping. I'm like, what is to love? You literally lie down, you close your eyes, and then you wake up the next morning or whenever, and all that time has passed. How could you have enjoyed that time? All that time has passed, right? So I always correct them, like, you enjoy lying down, you enjoy the feeling. They said they enjoy the feeling of rolling around, feeling sleepy, and then falling asleep, and they enjoy the feeling of waking up fresh. So I'm like, these are things that you enjoy. You don't actually enjoy sleeping because there's nothing to enjoy about sleeping, guys. Come on, let's not kid ourselves. Like I said, there's that whole time when you're asleep, you have no idea what's even going on. How can you enjoy something that you don't even know is going on? Right, okay, anyway, I digress. So I don't enjoy sleeping, right? I don't enjoy it because I feel like it's a waste of time. Those hours that I'm like lying on the bed could be spent doing other things, perfecting my sports, hanging out with friends, reading books that I've been meaning to read. I feel like, what a waste of time, right? But it is life-changing. The habit that I find to be life-changing is to be getting at least 4 hours of sleep. And it's appalling, but I didn't used to even get 4 hours of sleep before. I would feel like it's a badge of honor to say like, oh, I can do life on 2 hours of sleep, and honestly I can, but it's really not good for you. And so during the lockdown, to help make time pass faster, I would try to sleep a little bit more, remember, because I think it's a waste of time. I was like, okay, I want to sleep a little bit more. So I would challenge myself to sleep for like 6 hours, 7 hours, and now I can, even when I'm really tired, I can actually sleep for 7 hours, which is pretty amazing for me, right? I think my optimal is 6 hours, because actually after 6 hours plus, I will naturally wake up, and if I wake up and kind of close my eyes and try to go back to sleep, that sleep is a bit not so great. So I think that my hour is 6 hours, and I just feel like it's life-changing because I have so much more energy in the day. I know, right? Even more than I actually do. My skin is so much better. Like, I have zero foundation on right now. I literally just have a tinted sunblock and a bit of BB cream, and that's it. And it's cleared my skin up so much. Honestly, I feel like I look better. So the vain part of me says it's life-changing because if you need just one reason to sleep more, you look better. So I think there's no reason to go crazy and sleep 10 hours. I do think everyone needs a different amount of sleep. I think mine is 6 hours. There are also things that you can do to track how high quality your sleep is. So there's this tracker by AXA. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I did this sleep test for like 5 days. I wore like a tracking device around my chest area. It measures your heartbeats and your heart rate in between the heartbeats or something like that. And you sync it up by sort of keeping a record of what you've done that day. And what it found after 5 days is that the sleep that I get, even the sleep that I get like in a hair salon, I always fall asleep. Please give this video a thumbs up and give me a hands up if like you too fall asleep while getting your hair done, ladies, or even gents, right? Or even at the manicurist when I get my nails done. Maybe a bit hard when I get my fingers done, but when I get my toes done, I fall asleep. And what this thing found is that the sleep that I get in these situations is really high quality sleep, right? So not to say the sleep I get in my own bed is really high quality sleep. So I think because my sleep is so high quality, I need less of it, which pleases me so much because that's efficient sleep. So if you want to improve your sleep, I can do another video on that. But for now, I would say that one life-changing thing that I've learned is to get sufficient sleep. And so these days, I don't go with less than 4 hours. I actually make myself get 4 to 6 hours daily, and yeah, I feel like I look and feel so much better for it. The final life-changing habit I feel like in this period is journaling. And so there have been so many studies done on the benefits of journaling. I actually did a research paper for one of my courses under because I've been taking a diploma in positive psychology, and I actually did a whole paper on the benefits of journaling. There's so many forms of it, but I feel like the most effective form, if you want to improve your happiness and well-being, is to keep like a 3 blessings journal. So you may have heard about it. It comes in many other forms. I've written an article on Her World about this as well. Like, I have a regular column there. Go check it out if you haven't. But I wrote about it and the science behind it. And basically, it's as simple as every day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Now, try to make these as specific and as detailed as possible. Like, of course, you're grateful for like your mom and the food, the fact that you have food on the table. These are things you can write about, but it's even more effective if you can write really specific things. Like, I'm really grateful to my mom for always being there for me. Like, even when I want to drop by her house at say midnight, you know, she will, well, unless she's asleep, of course, but if she's awake and I text her, she will make the time for me. And I'm actually more and more as I get older, I get very sentimental about these things. Like, I realize that not everyone's has such good people around them. So I'm grateful for that. But if you can write something really specific, like, I'm grateful for going to eat this particular bak chor mee at this market today, right? And that like just yesterday I went to Bedok and there's this stall, Jose, and they sell mee pok that is like so good. And if you can write that and you can enjoy that, that's something to be grateful for, and you should definitely write that down, because science has proven that, you know, firstly you savor it, you savor the memory a bit more, and that makes you happier. And people who live a life where they're feeling grateful are generally happier people, and who doesn't want to be happier? So I'll say start with that. We can talk about other forms of journaling in another video, but just a quick one. If you want another way to journal, is I set like a 4-minute timer, and I just furiously write for 4 minutes anything that comes to mind. And this actually helps to process your thoughts. It actually reprograms your brain. It helps to build certain neural links in your brain that just contribute also to you understanding yourself better and to a greater sense of peace and well-being, right? So that's, I think, a life-changing habit that I picked up during the circuit breaker that really helped me process my emotions and actually has helped me be a more grateful and a happier person. So those were 8 habits that I have picked up over the years, some of which are a bit more recent, some I have done since, for many, many years, that I found to be life-changing, and I hope that some of these will help you as well. Drop me a line in the comment box down below, share with me some of the habits that you've picked up over the years that you find to be life-changing. I am also considering making separate videos about some of these habits, just in case you want to get started. Drop me a line to let me know which of these really interests you, and I can talk a bit more about them in separate videos. Otherwise, please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye! I'm losing my voice. I need the habit of not talking too much, maybe? Drinking more water?